Welcome, CommanderSmiths.
We are the CommanderSmiths.
I'm Adam Smith.
And I'm Lowry Smith.
Don't worry.
We're cousins.
We're cousins.
Don't worry about it. We're fine.
Yeah, we're good. Hey, it's episode 184. And what are we doing today, Lowry? What are we doing? Because this is a kind of a last minute, but not really, because you had brought this topic up before.
Yeah.
And so we kind of dove into this.
We're doing it just the tips.
What? Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. Yep.
Yeah. It's just the tips.
You know, what should be
get off my hair.
Wait. You know what that should be accompanied by? Why don't you do the honors of Hello Boobies?
Oh.
You have to look at which ones are.
Hello, boobies.
There we go.
I have buttons.
Lowry has buttons. So you can battle me with your buttons now.
And so the sound on my side is going to sound different. We'll see if it's better. It should be better. It shouldn't be blowing out. But I have buttons.
Yeah.
Kid can't even read.
Crap. That's going to be all. You're going to be playing that button probably the most out of all of them. I'll still hit.
Oh, good for you.
You'll probably do that one quite a bit too, I would think.
I'll work on it. I'm just going to try and figure out how to press buttons, like the order they are in, and trying to
memorize.
Nerd on mine is just like
blown out.
Else, so I got to avoid that.
But yeah, so Lowry did have this mic for the longest time, and then COVID hit and we went separate. So then he went back to the USB mic, and basically both of them are dead at this point. So we got a mixer and battling of the buttons.
I'm going to do the Salty 64 noise or voice that you had.
Welcome to the Salty 64.
Why weren't you doing this during the cast?
I don't know.
We should have done that all the time. Do some more. Let me hear some more.
So this is the
female voice, and it's very sexy.
This is
gonna go with a baby.
Sorry. Oh, that was good.
I drank some beer before that. That was ridiculous. I almost spit it all over the place. Okay. Is there any others?
Nah, that was a good.
Why didn't you do this during the cast? That would have been amazing. Oh man.
We'll get there. I'm still recording. I'm putting this at the end.
Oh, I haven't stopped recording. I'm going to put this in. That's fantastic. I wish I had voice things like that.
Okay, I guess there's so
like I said, female.
Then there's the male.
For some reason,
the robot is super low.
and so I
don't know. This one says baby, but it sounds like I ate a balloon.
My stomach hurts. Oh, God damn it. I'm going to hiccup now. Oh, fuck. Why wasn't this? I'm going to cut it.
That's all right.
And then I'm going to move it. I'm going to move it in the middle of the cast.
No, this is the opener.
Oh,
One
balls.
Of these is the opener, right?
I got hiccups now. Oh, fuck. The baby one is ridiculous. Hit that one again.
It's like a self-feeding loop. I'm just laughing.
Oh my God. Oh, it hurts so bad. Oh.
Why is it so high-pitched?
Oh, I haven't laughed this hard. I can't even remember. Oh, God damn it. I'm crying so much right now. Oh. Oh.
That's good stuff.
Even just hearing you just laughing, that was It sounds like. Oh man. Oh, I'm so glad I did not stop recording.
Happy with it.
Yeah, we just and I was kind of telling you this right before we started that we went to the Brew Fest this past weekend, and I told you the puking story already. Not us puking, somebody else that was struggling there just puked all over the place. But I got a kind of a funny story afterwards. So we get done at the Brew Fest and we take a shuttle to a bar closer to our house, and there's a bunch of people that we know, volleyball people that are going there. So we go there, and we get there. We're just whatever. They have karaoke going on and all this stuff. And one of our people that we just actually, it's funny. It's one of Drake's friends' moms.
Okay.
The kid, we just met her the day before, and she's German, and she was like, "Yeah, I want to come out with you guys." And we're like, "Yeah, fucking hey, come with us." So she actually went up and did karaoke and sang 99 Red Balloons all in German, and the bar went like crazy. It was awesome. This is part of the
99 red balloons.
what? 99 red balloons. You know the
I don't know that.
Yes, you do. Then Jay-Z did the or not Jay-Z.
99 problems.
No.
that
Goldfinger redid it. 99 red balloons. Blah 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 blah. All right, whatever. Or it's Loft Balloons.
Maybe. I guess I'm hearing the beat, but I guess.
No,
All right,
and I
go
wish
on,
I had
sorry.
it queued up. Anyways, so she got done singing that, and probably like a couple minutes later, this guy like comes over to our table, and he's like, "Do you guys know Margarita Mary?" And our other friend, who's like a regular there, she's like, "Oh, our German friend, she likes to sing and all that." And he's like, no, Margarita Mary lost her husband. And so it was like, oh shit. But Cindy's sitting next to me. She leans over and she's like, "Well, where did he go?" And it took me so it took me like 3 seconds, and all of a sudden I was just like, "Oh my God." And so we start laughing while he's like telling the story of how the husband died. He like drowned or something like that. Yeah, something terrible. But you know that when you're laughing in school and you're trying not to laugh and then it makes it worse? That was what was happening on the other side of the table. Cindy and I are just giggling our asses off, trying not to laugh, and then it made it go worse. But yeah, it was well, where did he go? Can't find him.
That's 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
You got me laughing about death. All right. That's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing. Yeah, and then AJ made that great meme that
Oh, yeah.
he ran it by
you
me
walk
first.
in.
He's like, "You're not gonna be insulted with this, right?" I'm like, "No, go ahead, do it."
Hear about those kids dying? Boner.
I'm
Still
out of the
boner.
movie.
Ah.
What do I do with this thing? All right. Well, let's see here. Is there anything happened with you this week, Lowry? No,
I don't know.
nothing.
Maybe. I mean, right before we started, it came down, I started poking around with this soundboard. My son pooped in the toilet, and it didn't flush down on its own. So I'm very proud.
Good for you.
Very proud father here. I just left it after the second flush. It was like stuck on the dry part of the
Oh man.
It was a stinker. And it just like stayed, and I was like, well, bye mom.
Gotta go record.
Gotta go. So and my son was like, "It's tall like a crane." Like,
So you had did it breach the water? Is what you're saying there?
no, it just stayed. It just, he didn't get it in the water initially, so it was on like the dry part of the bowl. It was funny.
You had a
'cause he's
beached
like, how are you
whale?
gonna get it how are you gonna get it away? And I was like, I'll just flush it again. He's like, save some water for the whales. As he's going to bed. He's a cute kid.
Nice.
He's a cute kid.
Poop. All right. Should we get to this? Should we do this? Because we got a lot of things to kind of.
We think so.
see.
Maybe it's a short. Maybe it's just a short episode.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how you do with Stump the Smith Savant here. So.
Oh, that's a good point.
All right.
So super short.
Yeah. Are you thinking you're going to get it that quick? Is that what you're saying?
I'm just being cocky.
Yeah. You got 1 week of when we're actually giving away stuff that now you're like, yeah, I'm going to get all these. Well, you even sent me a message. You're like, should we make this a little bit easier for people? I was like, dude, it's only been 1 week. Just settle down.
Everybody's already complaining on the Discord, though.
There's some tough ones, man. It just depends on which ones get drawn here. I mean, not saying that this isn't. It's just, you'll see. All right. So you guys can support the show by going to Patreon, patreon.com, and donating $1 or more. $1 gets you into the Discord. If you donate $5, really, we're probably one of the very few casts, if maybe the only one, that if you're $5 or more, you're probably saving money because you can get a proxy and you don't have to spend the money. I kind of mentioned that last week, but that's totally true. $5 or more gets you proxies each month. Speaking of which, we haven't even gotten to the proxies this month yet, but we will. What else do we have? We have playing games, but the summer we're kind of delayed with that. Everybody's doing stuff, so that'll pick back up in the fall and winter here. But the free way to support the show is to jump on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. That's first off. Second off, like stuff like Lowry's Curated MTG that is going crazy right now. Might break another 1,000 view. It's close, dude. If we get a couple people that are listening right now, go and watch it. Just 60 seconds. Boom, you're done. Like it and move on.
53 seconds.
53. Sorry. What was it, though, this week? It's actually a pretty interesting one.
Profaner of the Dead. So it's blue creature. When it comes into play, you exploit, and then you can bounce all of your opponent's creatures with the toughness less than the toughness of the creature that you sacrifice to the exploit. And so it's kind of like a Cyclonic Rift for creatures.
Yeah.
And you're definitely going to be able to get in after that. So made a couple of commanders, like kind of pointed out some commanders that work really well with it.
I don't even know. I have to check. You pointed out Arcades.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have it in my Arcades deck. It should definitely be in there because not only do you bounce all your, like, I might want my walls to bounce back so that I can cast.
It doesn't bounce your creatures.
Oh, it's everybody else's. Okay. But even still, the walls work perfect.
As long as you're bouncing all of your opponent's stuff, you're going to be able to smash in with Arcades.
Oh, okay.
Like, it'll just be crazy.
So if I don't have that in there, and I'm going to check that after the cast tonight because it has to be in there because that's a great one-sided kind of board wipe in a way. And then there was, let's see, what else do we have? So big thing on those is watch them and like them. That's kind of the big thing to watch those shorts, the 60 seconds or less. That one that just debuted this week was I also started doing Proxy Time shorts, and that is pretty sweet because then it was like we talked about last week. You don't hear me talking, so that's probably the biggest bonus. And then the second part is it's in fast forward. So it's actually really cool to just see it go just really quick. And so the one that I debuted last week was Treasure Vault. The one that'll come out, actually already be out from this is, what was I going to do? Oh, Parallel Lives. So Parallel Lives will be the one that's going to be currently going. So check those out. You can also see us doing this podcast on YouTube. You'll be able to see all the cards, all the reactions, all that fun stuff, the beers, all that fun stuff. I said fun stuff twice in like 2 sentences.
At least 3 times, actually.
I like fun stuff. Fun bags, fun stuff, fun things.
You hear about those people dying? Fun stuff.
Fun stuff. That was my reaction. All right. So you can also check us out on Twitter. That's where you can either direct message us or you can see MTG Switcheroo. Yes, got it. I didn't think about it. MTG, Switcheroo. Yeah. So you
came up with it, so
yeah. But you've been staying on top of it. You've been switcherooing a lot.
That's at least 3 weeks straight. Like I do it almost daily, if not a couple times.
Yeah. And then
all I do is just like in and out some cards, kind of show it off, talk about it. If you got any questions why I switch something in or out, go ahead and make a comment, or
you'll be the only comment. I'm just kidding. No, you've had some.
I just wants to talk to somebody.
I wants to talk. I'm like Gollum wants to talk to somebody. You've had some interaction though. You had
Yeah.
our guy across the great old. What is he in Australia? Where is he at? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, Dr. Kiwi?
Yeah,
Yeah, New Zealand.
New Zealand. That's right. Yeah, so
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guys are interacting there a little bit. That was pretty sweet. Okay, so direct message us there as well, or you can shoot us a email at CommanderSmiths@gmail.com. That is actually where I got a few suggestions there, and somebody did do it on Twitter. You gotta be careful about that because Larry will.
Savant?
Yeah, Stump. What did I say?
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, that's where I got the
Wait,
suggestions. So Stump the Smith Savant.
Wait, hold on. Was the Twitter one Jacerator?
Yes. Did you see one?
I saw that one.
Oh, okay. Taking that one off the
Take
list.
them off.
So
Yeah.
that's the thing is, if you're gonna do a Stump the Smith Savant, don't do it on Twitter because it just shows up on Lowry's feed on his phone, and so he can see it.
Yeah.
So email us and just put for Adam's eyes only, and that's actually where I got some of the suggestions this week, and actually how I got Bill from Woodbury's. He emailed it and didn't do through the Discord or anything. If you're a part of the Discord, that's the easiest way. So
So the biggest thing is like I'm semi-active on Twitter, and our email, that's just Adam. I don't even look at or open any of that stuff. So anybody responding to your email is Adam. But me and Adam both do the Twitter thing,
yeah.
so on the same account. So I did accidentally click on it.
yeah, I was like, oh shit, hopefully I got to this before he did, and yeah, nope. So that should do it for that. Now it is time for a little. It's time for everyone's favorite game show, Stump the Smith Savant. I gotta get my clues up here. All right. If you don't know how this game works, I am going to read the flavor text of a card. Lowry is going to try to guess the card. And these cards are suggested by either, well, listeners, obviously. It could be patrons, could not. Some of these people aren't patrons. I draw the name every Sunday at the end of Proxy Time. And whoever's name I draw, that's the card I'm using. Lowry's going to ask yes or no questions. If I say yes, he will hear this.
Hello, boobies.
If I say no, he'll hear this.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
Lowry only gets
Five wrongs.
5 wrongs. If he gets 5 wrong, he loses. And whoever that person is that gave the card that week will win how many ever prizes we have underneath it. At this time, we are at Treasure Vault. That is the showcase one, and that is it. But as we go 4 weeks, every month we'll add a new card in until we get Lowry stumped here. Lowry gets 3 clues, and that is it. So here we go. You ready for this, Lowry?
True story, bro.
Nice. This one, once again, comes from Bill from Woodbury. And here we go. Greatness is forged in fire and fervor. Greatness is forged in fire and fervor.
Okay, so right now that makes me feel like it is an artifact, possibly an equipment. Just looking at you. Any reaction there? Okay. Instantly, I'm not. This doesn't count, but I almost want to say like masterwork of engineering. There's that masterwork or equipment, but doesn't matter. Okay. So I think it's an artifact.
Do you want to ask that question?
Yeah. Let's ask it. Is this an artifact?
Hello, boobies.
Okay. I'll take a clue.
All right. So he gave me 10 clues, so I am choosing.
Choose.
Other than its flavor text, this card has only one sentence which describes its static ability. Other than its flavor text, this card has only one sentence which describes its static ability.
I'm not even sure if I can fully comprehend that.
I can see. That's why I read it again. I'm like, he's just blinking a lot and staring. Other than its flavor text, this card only has one. This card only. This card has only one sentence which describes its static ability.
only one sentence, like in the mechanic of the card.
Just has one sentence. I'll give you that. It's one sentence. That's all that this card, and it describes its static ability in that one sentence.
That's like what it's doing in one sentence. So Fervor is a card, I believe. It's a red enchantment that gives all the creatures haste. And so that makes me feel like this artifact is giving haste potentially. What was the flavor text again?
Greatness is forged in fire and fervor.
Fire and fervor. So it's an artifact.
Or I'm just making sure. Fervor. F-E-R-B-O-R. Press the kid can't even read thing really quick for me.
One,
Kid can't even
I believe
read.
that's fervor.
Okay,
Yeah.
just making sure. I was like, I hope I'm not leading you down the wrong. What if it was fever? No.
I mean that all points to like a red-ish card or mechanic with like fervor with haste, fever is like hot, fire, stuff like that. I'll take another clue, please.
I don't know if this is going to help you, but I think it's a good clue. Okay, so
Thanks.
it was banned in Commander from December 2005 to March 2009. So it is no longer banned, but it did have a banning, which I didn't realize, but that's why I picked this one. I thought you might have realized that this card was banned.
I mean, it's something that I could or should know, but 05 to 09?
Mm-hmm.
Banned in Commander?
Mm-hmm.
Holy fuck. Okay, so we know that the Commander precons came out 10 years ago, like this month. And so that put us at like 2011?
So that was before,
So that
man,
was-
maybe that's why I didn't realize it, because
Yeah.
we were
Yeah.
not really playing by the rules. We were just playing Commander at that
We weren't,
time.
well, I don't even know if we were playing like actual Commander at that point. We were still doing like 60 card casual.
You might be right, because 09, I didn't move into my first house until 09, and
Yeah.
we were playing 60 still when I was at that house for like a year, and then we switched.
So
Whoopsies.
yeah, this is
one wasn't a good clue
probably
for you. Damn it.
for our time. So it's a banned artifact from a time. So like that puts it at like a really good artifact. That also tells us that it's not a newer card. So I don't quite remember when like what was being played at 09, or like even 05. But so that was probably around Lorwyn time? No, probably Time Spiral, maybe even like... Maybe it's from Mirrodin block. Which
Do you want
makes
your-
sense why...
Do you want your third clue? It might help you a little bit.
I'll take the third clue.
All
I
right.
have a feeling this is an equipment from Mirrodin.
This is the third and final clue, so I can't give you any
Okay.
more after this.
Sweet.
Let's see. One of these printings has been featured on a previous Stump the Smith Savant.
That does not help me. Hold on. What was that clue?
One of the printings of this card, because it just has a different flavor text, has been featured on a previous Stump the Smith Savant.
So I've already guessed this card. This is stupid.
Yeah,
Been
it's
doing
tougher.
this for what, 6 months? 6
Yeah,
months
something
now?
like that. Yeah.
Great, thanks. Okay.
This one's tough. This
I
one
don't
is
know if
really
that helps
tough.
me at all. Okay. So now I need to start. So I know it's an artifact, and I know that it's probably colorless, so I don't have to guess if it's a color or not. I mean, I can't think of anything from like Shards of Alara, which is where colored artifacts started, and so it's previous to that. Unless they auto banned it, I don't think so. 05 to 09. Is this from the original Mirrodin block?
Oh shit. What's in the Mirrodin block?
You have Mirrodin, you have Darksteel, and then you have I'm trying to go with the picture.
What's it look like? What's the symbol?
Yeah, I can't put it in my head. So, like, Darksteel has the helmet. Mirrodin has the sword. And then...
Yep, it is. Okay, I just looked it up. It's Fifth Dawn is the
Fifth
third
Dawn.
one. Yep.
Was it from Fifth Dawn?
Hello, boobies.
Well, yeah, you said the other two, and I was like, well, what's the third one? I don't know what the third one is. So, yeah, I had to do a quick search.
I can't even actually picture that in my head.
The Fifth Dawn one is the one with, like, the crown, or the, like, almost looking like, not crown. Kind of looks like a helmet.
Oh, that's Fifth Dawn?
Yeah. Anyways.
Darksteel. Okay. Okay. So we know that Skull Clamp is ridiculous, and that is potentially in there. So it cut out Umazawa's Jit because that was not.
You got to mix
block.
in what I've talked about. Like, have I done a Stump the Smith Savant on that?
Yeah, I don't remember like almost any. When I go back and listen to what we're doing, I am just as enthralled as everybody else listening.
You're re-listening, trying to guess what it is, and you had already guessed it like the day before. Oh, that's funny. This is gonna be the longest Stump the Smith because we were trying to like you're trying to guess it, and, like not mess
well, that's
up.
the problem with this. Like it's okay. I don't have any wrong guesses, right?
Right, you have 5
Okay,
left.
so let's specify. Let's make sure. Like, is this an equipment?
Wrong, wrong, wrong,
Not an
wrong.
equipment.
One wrong.
Huh. I'm incredibly impressed. Okay, so we know that this is an artifact. It's not an equipment, and it was banned from 05 to 09.
I didn't realize it was ever banned. So
Oh. Hold on. I think I have an idea. This feels. Is the music like a wind right now?
a wind? What do you mean a
Yeah,
wind?
it sounds windy.
Oh, does
My
it?
headphones right now. It's very. Thanks. It's so sexy of you to blow in my ears. Okay. Okay. I think I have an idea. Does this have the mechanic of imprint on it?
Wrong, 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 wrong.
2.
Shit.
2.
Hold on. Okay, no. I've guessed this already.
Right.
God damn it. Just wasted a guess. What have I done? Okay, so it's not Soul Ring. And it's not... I don't know.
And I can't give you any more clues.
I know. I hate this game. All right. Bill from Woodbury is going just like wringing his hands.
He's like,
right
yeah,
now.
that treasure vault
treasure
is
vault.
all mine.
Okay.
Greatness
Okay,
is
so it's-
forged in fire and fervor. It is an artifact. It is from Fifth Dawn. What else do you guys? The clues were, other than its flavor text, this card has only one sentence which describes its static ability. Was banned in Commander from 2005 to 2009 and was previously on a Stump the Smith Savant with a different flavor.
With a different flavor. Okay, so it has multiple printings. I mean, it's good, right?
Do you want me to answer that? Is a question? How do you determine if it's good?
It's good by being banned. Okay, so we cut out imprint. Does it say haste anywhere on the card? or would be Summoning Sickness if they didn't have the keyword on it.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
3.
Great.
2 more wrong guesses. Maybe start asking about maybe it's casting cost.
I don't get to ask any more questions.
No, but you can get yes or no's. You can say, is it greater than, less than?
Yeah, that's.
Is it a creature? Is it a? We already know it's not an equipment. People watching it's fine, but people listening is just like silence. The silence you hear is Lowry thinking.
Oh my god!
I know you're trying to go through in your head like which ones have been on. Have I guessed before or no?
Oh! By the way, it's a shield.
What's a shield?
The symbol.
The shield? No, it's like a helmet looking
Is
thing.
it the helmet thing? Okay.
Yeah.
So the other one's a shield. I think it's all Cauldra. Cauldra?
What?
Try to. Oh, it's not an equipment though. What the fuck would have been banned? And it's not haste. It's not an equipment. I knew that. Now.
I should have
Maybe
saved.
this is kind of throwing it off. I mean, maybe it's currently banned as well. Because there is that,
Yeah, but I'll give you this. We aren't going to talk about things that are banned in Commander. That I think we should say that, like,
yeah, that's a good point.
the cards that we're talking about have to be in Commander. And that's rules. I've been checking it. Everybody doesn't have things that are banned in Commander. And we kind of have done that with our stuff before. I don't think I've done one.
You allowed Blue Eyes Dragon.
Yeah, but that was before.
It was April 1st, so I'm all right with that. Jesus. I'm going to admit that I am fairly stumped, which is disappointing since I've already guessed this.
Well, this is the third time we're
Can
going.
I ask a question? Did I get it the last time?
Hello, boobies.
I did.
I think because I gave different hints that that gave it away.
Is this...
If I would have thought about it, the banning, I thought we didn't even think that we weren't playing then. And then as we talked it through, I was like, oh yeah, we weren't playing. We were playing Commander, but we were going by like what was banned or not necessarily in the beginning.
I don't
there.
even think we knew what the band was. Are we done with the music?
No, I just started it up again for the third time.
I feel so bad. I mean, is it a creature?
Wrong, 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 wrong.
Last guess.
This is to teach me a lesson because I was being cocky.
Yeah. Do you think we should change the rules? Maybe make it, but less. No, just kidding. Not change the rules.
That wasn't.
You wanted less decks. You wanted to make it so people could have more choices, but yeah.
Yeah, this was getting me. Because I don't. So it's not a creature. How the hell was it banned?
Not a creature, not an equipment. Doesn't do anything with haste.
Yeah, that question was dumb. I shouldn't have asked that one.
The text of this card only has one sentence which describes its static ability. It's harder now because I'm like, I gotta hold back things that I would normally like jump in and be like, and blah 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 blah. Yeah. But I'm like, there's something on the line for people to win, so I'm kind of like not giving that extra hint.
So it's just a normal little artifact
that got banned because it's so damn powerful.
It's so damn powerful.
It's not an equipment. It's not a creature.
So like, I might as well just. Is it like Gilded Lotus?
Wrong, wrong,
Oh,
wrong,
Bill!
wrong.
He wins the treasure vault on week number 2.
Wow. What was it?
All right, let me give you the second flavor text. A few minutes later. There's always something that goes on with having the music on and me talking, and somehow it was blowing out on Lowry's end. But anyways, okay. So I have the music bed off, but if I give you this flavor text, will this help? Amidst the darkest ashes grow the strongest seeds. Does that ring a bell at all?
No.
It is something that deals with landfall or with land. Crucible of Worlds.
Oh.
So what?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even remember guessing that at all.
Yeah, so I think what I talked about was, I think my clue to you for that time was dealt with like, I think it dealt with land in the graveyard and maybe the planets, if I remember correctly. Something with
I feel like maybe the planet as the picture.
Yeah. Whereas this one, the one that I was using was from which one is it? The 2020 World Championship promo. So that's the only
Fuck.
So
I'll admit I don't own that card, and so that makes sense why I wouldn't know or be able to.
Well, you own Crucible of Worlds, you just don't own the World
like,
Champion. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oof.
Well, that went 2 weeks long, so
no, I have a feeling this is going to be more of a humbling experience.
Well, people are getting tougher with it. They're trying to actually get you stumped. So
yeah, that's okay. That's okay. We'll just keep on picking cheaper and cheaper cards.
Yeah. Oh, I was actually going to say, what do we decide to choose for next week? We should get that out there so people can already start to listen and hear.
Do we have an idea?
Should we? Hey, let's do Esper Sentinel.
That's really nice. I was actually thinking the land that I like.
Oh, Yavimaya?
Yeah.
I like it too, you asshole.
No, you don't like it.
I love that card.
No, you don't.
It's just
Stay
competing
away from
against my
land.
Urzas. Yeah, we could do Yavimaya. You want to do Yavimaya?
I think it's better.
Well, actually, the number one played card from the set is Esper Sentinel. Is the number
fine. Yeah, sure. We can do that.
And it's a little more expensive. We'll up the game, and you got to up your game then.
Great. Great.
Good, great, grand, wonderful.
$15. All right.
Congratulations, Bill. You get a treasure vault of the showcase version. Remember, you guys can send in your suggestions. Bill, you can even enter again, you asshole, if you want to. Win it again. I think that's about it. So next week we'll see who can stump Lowry for the next prize. But now let's get on to
What's this?
rotating cards. Come on. They're gonna rotate. You remember when it was? You were like, "Well, we're not going to hear that one for a year."
Yeah,
Little did you know, the next week I was going to play it for the segment opener.
I was really hoping it'd be a year, but no.
Okay, so how do we want to work this? We have basically.
Hello, boobies.
Holy shit, that was loud. That scared me. Yeah, you scared the crap out of me on that one. Okay, so we have basically 6 sites that we're going to go through and kind of talk about the pluses and minuses of each, things that it does well, why we use them. And then at the end, we'll kind of give you a summary of what they do best. Like the top thing of what each of these sites do. All right, so I'll get us started on Card Kingdom. So Card Kingdom, some of the people, most of you probably know what Card Kingdom is, but this is probably the site that we started on first, like before we
And
really
also,
new.
we're asking for any sponsorship offers if you are listening.
Yeah, any of
Talk
these
about
sites we
you
talk
enough.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any of the sites.
Any of these sites, you guys could sponsor us. That'd be great. So Cardkingdom was actually the first ones that we used before EDHREC, before TCG. Probably wasn't.
Literally before these sites came out.
Yeah. So the cool thing about Cardkingdom is it would be how I was trying to, like, I'm building a deck and I'm like, okay, this deck does, landfall stuff, kind of what's related back to Crucible Worlds. What's cool about Cardkingdom is you can search for like Crucible Worlds, and what it shows underneath is like 8 cards that people buy, or it might be 8 or 12 that they also buy when they buy this card. So it was a good way for me to like stumble down the rabbit hole and like click this card, and then that leads to this card. That was all before EDHREC, where you could search basically for net decking if you wanted to. But
By the way,
the other,
we should do a net decking conversation in the future sometime.
yes, I think that's a good. Well, that was one of the suggestions, wasn't that from Discord?
I don't know.
Wasn't it?
Maybe.
So I think
Could
you're
be.
right. We should definitely do that.
Could be.
So one of the really good things about this is like you have a great like advanced search tool where it isn't just like you look for a card name. It's like searching for like creature type. You can look for the certain colors. You can choose if you want 1 color, 2 color, 3 colors, multiple colors. You can look for things that are in the text box. You can do, there's so many different things. So the advanced search is probably one of the best things that Cardkingdom does. What do you what are some other things with Cardkingdom that you are thinking?
I don't know about other things, but just like expounding upon like those. I always found it really fun because I'm a boring person, but I always found it fun to do the rabbit hole underneath cards. Like, I want to buy this card, go check out what other people are buying with it, and then like, oh, that looks cool. Click on it, read it, figure it out, and then go down. And like, I would do that for hours.
You'd go down for hours?
Yeah, nap time. But I would just learn. That was a good way for me to learn.
Good for you. Hello, boobies.
And hey, Dad, I'm looking at Cardkingdom. Get out of
Hello,
here.
boobies.
But like it was a really good way of just randomly learning about cards. I do think that probably like because this is kind of like a comparison segment where we're kind of. I do think EDHREC does a better job of that because you just have more options. Under
Foreshadowing.
We're gonna talk about it. And so I think the advanced search for me, I do use that when I'm like buying cards from them.
I do it when I'm building decks. If there's a certain
you use
thing
that for the decks.
Yeah.
Okay.
If there's a certain theme that I'm looking for, I'll do certain keywords and see what shows up. I'll do the keywords, the colors, and then boom. And I go through all those cards. But yeah, we've talked about it before. I don't use EDHREC until the end. So I have my idea of the deck built, and then I'm like, okay, this is all pretty good. Is there things that I'm missing? So then I'll jump on and be like, okay, here's my commander. What do people play with this commander? And I'm like, oh, okay, there's like 5 cards that I've missed. Yeah, those will probably fit, and I throw those in there. But for the most part, I try to stay away from EDHREC until I get towards the end of everything.
Yeah. And for Cardkingdom's advanced search, I don't use it for deck building. I use it for the random like purchases. So like what I do for theirs is I will sit down and I'll go like, I don't want to see any cards over $50. And so I'll look through $50 and lower and just like see if anything pops into the realm of like, oh, I haven't seen that card. Oh, it went down. For me on a website where you can buy it and you can see where it is being lined up randomly within everything. Like that's what's helpful for me. But I know a lot of people don't purchase that way, because like what I do is I purchase my cards generally for like, that's cool. Maybe that works with this. I almost never specifically buy online for a deck, but that's because I'm always buying for potential decks. And at this point, my collection's so big. So like not everybody can buy like I do or purchase. And so like, and normally I purchase my cards that are $5 or less. I try and avoid anything more than $10 for sure. And I try and trade for those.
Yeah. So this kind of ties into one of its positives. The only time I buy from Card Kingdom typically is one, if there's a card that's being bought out everywhere and hasn't been hit by Card Kingdom yet, because Card Kingdom normally has higher prices. That's kind of when its downfall.
Yeah.
But it's when I have buy list. It's the place I send my cards. It's the only place I do my buy list stuff. I think I've done other places once or twice, but I just sent a big order of my Tattoo Guys collection over there to get priced out. So that's when I'll buy from Card Kingdom, is when I have buy list money there. But it's normally I try to find, the good deals. But again, Card Kingdom is higher. They do a great job shipping. They get it out to you really quick.
They do give you the best buy list prices from what I've seen across the board.
Yeah.
Maybe not on specific cards, but just in general, it seems like they have the better prices for a large swath of cards.
Yeah.
And so like, even when I'm doing that, like I don't just send them everything, but like, I'm like, oh, that's a good, they're giving me $1 for this in credit and it's worth $1.25 for sure.
Yeah.
Like, and so like Card Kingdom is very useful for those kinds of things. And you just got to be able to work with it with the buy list. And if you're going for something specific and it's expensive, so like you gotta weigh those pros and cons on yourself. But if you're going into it with a randomness like I do, it's perfect, because I can just go, I know these standard cards are expensive. I'm more than willing to wait. And so I wait. I don't buy an inflated price of a standard card. And then I can go for something that's like a rotating spec. That should be happening here. And we didn't talk about it last week, but rotating specs are basically now, if not a month ago, up until about 3 months after rotation. Cards are always varying at that point, but that's kind of how you should be aggressive on what you see. If you start seeing it trending up, but it should be going down, probably be aggressive with it.
One other thing, sometimes Card Kingdom is one of the first places you can see a buyout starting to happen, because for some reason it gets hit first and then it starts trickling down to TCG. That's one of the things I put as a negative for Card Kingdom, is that on like rare mythic or uncommons that are used a bit, they limit to 8 cards, like having 8 cards. So you can never get, like, if you're ever trying to be like, oh, this card's spiking, I want to buy as much as I can, they are limited to 8. And I think it's up to 20 when you get to like the lower stuff or whatever.
That sounds right.
But for the most part, I mean, it's a place, it's one of probably 4 places.
Largest.
Yeah, I was going to say 4 places to buy cards from.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
So 4 places we'll discuss 2 of them just really quickly.
I guess if we're going to compare between the other 3 that we're not, or the other 2 that we're not going to talk about, Star City Games I have always found to be overpriced.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even look there anymore.
No, I don't either.
Channel Fireball was like what I grew up on in my Magic life. Like I used to love reading those articles, and they have fairly decent prices, but they don't have the buy list that I've noticed that Card Kingdom has.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't consume as much content as I used to.
It's because you're making it. You gotta stop making all that content, Lowry.
I don't know about that, but it's just, and so like, in my opinion, like Cardkingdom is probably the top of those three, and then we'll get to TCG, which is where I also buy from.
Yeah. Okay, so that's probably that in a nutshell. We'll wrap up at the end of all the best that they do. So let's move on to the next one. Why don't you take that one over?
You got your button? Okay, never mind. Okay, Scryfall, which is probably my favorite one that we're going to talk about. This has a great advanced search. This is how I build my decks. You can click on links that'll bring you to TCG Player. You can see all of the different versions that have ever been printed for certain cards. It has like a lot of websites have like, is this legal? Is this not? But but Scryfall has a really visible one. So that, I think that's really nice of it.
Yeah, I think it has the best out of all of them. Like, we'll talk about Goldfish next. Goldfish has a legality one, but it's all like all the same, and you just have to read, which is easy, legal, banned, whatever. But Scryfall's is really cool because it's like, if it's legal, it's in green. If it's banned or whatever, it's in gray. So they like
you can
make
visually see that difference.
Yeah.
And then you have like the errated text, and so that'll be the real text for the card, because the game is 28 years old. Rulings have changed. Wordage has changed. Creature types have changed a ton.
I mean, one thing I was testing out to make sure which sites that we talk about today, which one have the errata. Cardkingdom does it too, but Lightning Bolt. If you look at Lightning Bolt, the ones that are errated, they'll say 3 damage to any target. The ones that aren't still say 3 damage to target creature or player. And that's one good test. If you're looking at a site and you want to see if a text is errata, and it'll still show the card saying what it says. But if you look off to the side where it describes it, that's where you'll see what the actual, and that's a good way to tell what they've changed, So that's what we will do sometimes. Like, wait, is this text errated yet or not? So, one thing that I didn't know that you pointed out to me, which is something that I didn't.
They have the rulings there as well. So if you go down to the bottom of the page, you are going to be able to see anything that's going to clarify the rulings on the card. Sometimes, like back when I was first starting, I remember trying to look up Marrow Regery and like, what does cast mean? Like, because whenever you cast a merfolk, you were able to tap or untap a creature. And I was like, does that mean like, I didn't even understand it. And I was trying to find rulings on it, but it was like clearly stated in the card, but again, this is back before there was judges, or almost even, a little bit after Facebook. So there wasn't like groups or anything. I just didn't understand what cast even meant. So that part isn't going to be in there.
Right.
It's obvious. But when there's any like kind of
things that are kind of questionable on the card, they'll have that at the bottom.
Like they'll explain what the adventure zone is. Adventure zone.
That's where you take the kids.
I mean, where is that? That used to be a place, right?
DZ Adventure Zone, Discovery Zone is what it was, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's
an adventure zone too.
My parents couldn't bring me anywhere. We were poor. This is one that you brought up. They have image quality proxies. So
I can pull the best image. This is where I take all the proxies. They have the best quality images, and also you're able to look up, like when I was doing Stump the Smith Savant, picked up Crucible Worlds, and you're able to see each one of like the printings, but like in the full card form. It's not just listed like all the other sites will do that. You can click on all the printings, and it shows you every single one of the printings side by side in the full card. So it very nice visually to look at their site.
Yeah.
And the other part, did you mention that like it has the list of all the places you can buy the cards then? I think you did say that. Yeah.
Yeah. They bring it to TCG. It doesn't bring it everywhere. It has like Card Market where I've never been. And then the last one that we have in our notes is that the spoilers get up there pretty quick.
Yep.
Most bigger websites are pretty good at getting the spoilers up quick at this point too. But if you're searching around for cards, that helps.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's about it on that one.
Yeah. Goldfish?
Again. Yeah, okay. So next one is Goldfish. Goldfish is one that you don't use this one as much anymore. It was one that
stopped. Yeah.
We used to use this all the time. To be honest with you, my favorite part about Goldfish is being able to look at all the graphs of trends of where this card has gone, being able to have all that on the side. You can see all the printings and click between them pretty easily. I did use early on. They do have this tool. It's still available, but you can do price alerts. So if you're like, okay, I want to be notified when this card goes to this amount. I'm sure the other ones might do this as well. I just remember using it in the beginning for Goldfish, and it'd send you an email when that card got over that certain price. There's some things that I don't like. I don't like how they don't foil track as well. You can see the tracking, but foils cards are kind of at the back of the back burner on their stuff. It seems like, what else it is? Oh, they also stopped taking away from like tracking eBay. They used to do that. They used to have like TCG, Cardkingdom, and eBay were the three sources that they used. And now eBay is off of there, and you used to be able to like click on them, like,
which is too bad because I think that really like stabilized, like what card prices were. Now you definitely see like those huge spikes because
like, TCG gets bought out, and people put on there, the last right
dockside extortionist, and it's like.
I think that's actually kind of a problem for a lot of these. Even the next one we'll talk about, they also, I think, go mainly through TCG. I don't think they go. So you'll see but then the thing that's different is, we'll get to that. I was going to say, the next one, they add a little disclaimer that this card might not actually be this price, but they don't do that here. So I guess my favorite thing with Goldfish is being able to see the graphs of how things go up and down. They also have good content. They have a lot of good content on their page. Probably one of the better ones.
Olive is huge.
Yeah.
He's good at what he does. Good enthusiasm, constantly playing, and he is that website in my opinion. And there's Tomer too. My thing was like, as we started doing our content, like I became very focused on Commander, which they aren't in their content.
That's a good point.
And for me, I really used to like the movers and shakers portion of where the biggest gainers.
Yep.
Within a certain couple, modern, legacy, standard, and all that. But it just felt like a smaller list, and so I moved over to a different site. I wasn't doing the price tracking, which probably is a good thing. I do really like that, but I never did it because I think trading always had me keeping an eye on it, and which is different than like eBay, where it's a little bit more passive and then people buy as they want.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, before we started this, like I would watch Commander Clash. I really enjoyed that content. But I just can't watch it anymore.
Yeah. No, I haven't watched it in years at this point.
Years at this point. So,
I'll say one other thing. They're probably the best at spoilers. I
agree with that. Yeah.
It hits their site really dang quick. Saffron typically gets on there and does a video that day of all the spoilers. Mm-hmm. So they're the one that I go to. I know there's Mythic Spoiler that you can see stuff, but I like how fast it goes on there and the little video. Sometimes I'm like, I'm interested to,
it's like 15 to 20 minutes for all of them, right? So they're pretty efficient in what's going on.
Yeah. I would say that this is, out of the ones we talk about, This one's the best for spoilers. They get it faster. Like they put it up on their site and there's already a price, like even though that's not really the price, but there's a price because they're pulling it from, TCG or whatever.
Another thing that kind of pulled me away from it was like there was a ton of ads on like the phone and like the laptop. And so that like on the laptop, it really bogged me down. And on the phone, it was kind of like click, 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 get it away. Like it took a lot of work to see what I wanted to see.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if they've changed that recently, like.
No, I have it up right now and I see 2 ads sitting on the top and the bottom of my page.
So it was when there's 2 on your phone, like it's taking up the top third and the bottom third, and you just see the middle third, and you're like, this is fucking super inefficient. Where I'm always like, I accidentally click on ads, and I'm like, fuck this, I'm done.
Yeah, I will also to piggyback on the phone stuff. It's a little more difficult on your phone to like search for stuff with Goldfish. Yep. So that's another tough thing to do there. Goldfish for me, it's for the spoilers. I don't indulge in the content. I just know it's there. Mm-hmm. But it's mainly the spoilers and kind of the graph stuff. So why don't we talk about the next one that's very similar to this and where you have moved on to?
This is where I do my finances of Magic, not like I don't pay my bills off of it. It's MTG Stocks. Great price tracking graphs. I mean, like to me, it has the same amount of graphage that Goldfish does, so it's worked. It has trending for everything, so the graphs and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm looking at Adam's notes.
No, yeah, the trending thing what you had mentioned with the movers and shakers on Goldfish. The nice thing about the thing I love about MTG Stocks is that you can click on regular and it has the huge list of all the stuff that is going up and down that day. You can move over to foil. I don't get what's the difference between market and market foil. Have you ever figured that out? Like, what's the difference with that? Is it taking
I'm unsure of that, but generally
I'm normally just on regular and foil. Yeah. But this is where I was mentioning before, if there's a spike, like for example, Dragon Tempest, it has spiked from $4.45 to $10,000.
Yeah. And that's the promo foil from Kaldheim.
Yeah.
That's, I mean,
sell them. Go sell them. 10,000. I'll take half. I'll take 5,000.
5,000. And so they're pulling from the same places as Goldfish. So they're pulling TCG and whatever other bigger.
It says prices based on TCG Player, so their main stuff is TCG as well.
That's definitely something that you need to look out for.
And the cool thing is when you're looking at their movers and shakers thing or whatever, the little star asterisk is also showing you reserve list cards that have gone up, whereas you don't have that in other places necessarily. So that's kind of a cool feature to it. So that's one of my favorite things about MTG Stocks is being able to, I'll look at this list every day and just see, okay, did I have anything pop up? Okay, that card I need to get it up on eBay.
Goldfish on the phone is really hard to see if it's reserved list. On MTG Stocks, super easy.
Yep.
Super easy to see if it's reserved list. Super easy to see what set it's from. So it's just become like so much more efficient, and it doesn't get bogged down from ads or anything that they're pushing when it comes to articles and stuff like that. I haven't read any of their articles.
I do I guess the things that I've looked at is like the movers of that week. I'll read those.
Okay.
So like the 3 this week was Omen of Fire. I sold a bunch of those. Where's good for you. You should have that ready.
Oh, hello, boobies.
For you.
That's boobies. That's not.
Well, I'm just randomly.
I don't want relationship.
I just want bang, bang, bang.
I don't want to know your name. I just want bang, bang, bang.
Okay. Actually,
created a monster. Yeah, it's the top left one. The top left one is normally what I have for mine too. So it has like your 3 big movers of the week, and then also if you read those articles, if you go under it, they explain each card, why they think it went up. Like the Omen of Fire, they think it's reserve list stuff, and that's probably right. But also at the bottom, they do cheap pickups. So they give you some ideas of cards that are really cheap that probably you should look at picking up. Like, for example, they talk about Cabal Coffers. It's at $25. It's been that way for a while. I think we're at the bottom. Cabal Coffers at $25. This is a card to probably pick up. So it gives you a little bit of extra stuff each week. I kind of like to look at those and see why things are moving and whatnot on there. What else? They don't have advanced search on this, do they? I didn't notice anything with advanced. I've never.
So one thing that I really like about stocks, and I know this is such a tiny thing, but like I don't care about like spelling out the cards exactly perfect. And some sites are like that. Like Cardkingdom, you need to be perfect.
Right.
And
most sites are like that.
Yeah, and stocks you can be close. And they'll pull it up for you and you're able to click on whatever one's close enough.
You should see Lowry's texting because his fingers hitting his phone is like there's at least 1 to 2 words a sentence that don't have the right letters in there.
Well, I mean, normally there's numbers in the text.
Yeah. It's like trying to decipher my dad's dyslexia and when he writes stuff, but it's just Lowry just types it and is like, fuck it, it's close enough. He'll get it. He's been in an escape room. He knows how this works.
And so,
I think that's why I'm good at them because of you're training me, Lowry, with your text messages.
So the with stocks, you can get close and they're gonna guess for you. And because sometimes I'm just like, it's a spell bomb but I don't quite remember which one it is. And if I spell bomb wrong, that's gonna happen. Like it'll still pull them up.
I didn't realize it would do that. That's interesting. That's a good little nugget there.
It's quite nice, and quicker as well because they'll start guessing at what you're doing at a quicker pace, and so I can just go like, you can put like Llanowar E, and that's in a lot of searches.
Most of them, but yeah. I gotcha. The two things that I forgot to mention in Goldfish and here, these are the two, I think the only two that we're going to talk about today where you actually can see the deck list that the cards are used in. So this card's used, let's say I clicked on Omen of Fire. It'll pull up where this deck, and it's not in any deck, so that's good. Goldfish might be a little better at that because I think they'll pull up Commander decks more.
Yeah, but I think they only pull from their site.
Right. So both of them will show you the deck list, show you. Oh, that's another thing I do like about Goldfish. Going back to Goldfish really quick, is they'll show you where the decks, how many decks are using it, what formats, and all that. Stocks also does that. It'll tell you what decks are using this. I don't know if it shows you how many. And that's where that. Go ahead.
Sorry. Nope.
I was just going to say that's where the article stuff. I haven't done the articles that I put on the notes. I just noticed them for the first time when we were kind of going through this. Each card that you click on at the bottom, it'll give you the articles that they've talked about it.
Yeah.
So if you want to read something more on that card, it'll give you the date of when this card was talked about and all that. So, like for example, Aggravated Assault at the bottom, it shows weekly winner of 2021. So August 20th, they talked about it. So, there's a lot of stuff in there.
Deck lists that oftentimes that can answer the question of why did this card go up? Mm-hmm. And if you're able to go and be like, oh, this is in this deck that's becoming more popular, or, if you can it gives you that reason. And so oftentimes that's very helpful for going like, okay, this is a deck on the rise, whether it be Legacy, Modern, Standard, or Commander, like you're able to click on it and go like, what else could potentially go up, or what works for me, and so it's a good reference.
For sure. Yep. Okay. I don't have anything else on there. Should we move on to EDHREC?
Sure.
Okay. So EDHREC, this is the site for net decking.
This is the bane of creativity. But it's
There's
not.
a lot.
It's not. It's fine. It's good.
It's a great
Yeah.
it's a great site.
Absolutely.
It is the best way to see how to, like, if you really just wanted to go, this is the commander, this is what I want to build. You put that commander in and you freaking will get a deck. You can just go right off of there and it'll build the deck for you in a way. So this is the best way to see what related cards you can see on that. This is another way that we talked about with the Cardkingdom thing where you can go, hey, I like this card. This is my commander. Oh yeah, this card works. And you can click on that and then they'll pull that card up and show you what cards work with that. So you can go down the rabbit hole there. The other thing is you can see the popularity of cards. Like you can see how often that card is being used as either the commander or in the 99. So it kind of can give you, I'll use that to judge on speccing, and we've talked about that all the time. It's my number one source to see, okay, this card I really like a lot. It's been out for a little bit. How many decks is it actually being used in? Are people actually using this card? Is this time to pick up this card? So that they keep track of that so well in that. What else we got in there? Similar cards, unique searches. They do have some unique searches. They don't have the advanced searching like Scryfall and Cardkingdom do, but they do have like
the salty list.
Right. Fuckers. No, I'm just kidding. They had it first.
And then are they still doing an update?
I actually don't know. I don't know. And I don't want to pull up their site because this is the negative of it.
Yeah.
What is the negative, Larry?
They got a lot going on. Like I was complaining about Goldfish, like with the ads and the prompts and stuff like that. EDHREC like shuts our computers down if you're doing anything else. Like it's a lot.
Because we're streaming, well not streaming. Well, we're doing this live between us.
Yep.
Doing the Zoom thing, so we can have video. So then when we pull that up, yeah,
and then pulling EDHREC is like, boom.
Yeah, because they automatically trigger their podcast going and any ads. Yeah. Normally, it's the podcast that you don't even realize that it's going.
Stop that auto starting. It'd be a lot better. Lifesaver.
Yeah. That's probably the biggest downfall. No advance, can't buy cards. Doesn't show up. Oh, that's one thing. The part that bugs me sometimes is like, it isn't a search place, so whatever. But like when you want to see other versions of that card, it just gives you the card. Like,
yeah.
Unless you have to search through their options, which I don't want to pull it up right now. Let's see what happens. EDHREC. Here we're gonna do it.
So no, I think EDHREC is a really good place for like ideas. If you're like, I like this card, how do I use it though? I think it's really good for new players. Because I'm a proponent of like, you can have really good cards, but if you don't know your deck, if you don't know how to play as well, like those things are really big hindrances versus like even just having a good deck.
Mm-hmm.
And so like that can really help out new players in just like feeling confident that they're playing with good cards and the proper cards. And like, so I don't have as big of a problem as some people can have with EDHREC. They're a really good place to get resources from and think, but it can also become a crutch. So you don't want it to become a crutch, right? Because that's where, well, and maybe you do, because some people don't like building decks. I love it. But some people just want a fucking deck. And
they just they want this idea and then they got it. That's totally fine. That helps them out. Maybe they don't have time to sit down and, it takes me weeks to fucking build a deck. It's not like this, but you might want your deck built and you don't have the time to sit there and take 2 weeks to build a deck. And it's a great place to just go through and basically net deck with it.
Yeah.
Build the deck off of that. And it's totally fine to do it that way. So the resource is there. Mm-hmm. And did I mention this? I hate that we talk before sometimes.
Sometimes, yes.
This is so at the end. Yeah, I already said this earlier when I was talking about Card Kingdom. So at the end, like I said earlier, this is where I jump in and I'm like, okay, just double check to make sure I'm not missing some key cards. This is the perfect place. This is my last. It's part of when I build. It's the last thing I hit. Just to make sure there isn't something that I'm like, oh, fucking, how did you miss that, Adam? And then I pull that up and put that in
sometimes it's like, oh, that's a good idea. Like, I'll pull those cards out and then try and fit it into the deck that I have. That's generally where I use EDHREC, is like the same idea, but I have my deck together and I'm just looking for pieces if I missed it. And oftentimes they don't fit in to what I'm trying to do or what I'm doing, or I feel like I got something better. But it's at least going like, this could be here in the future if things change. Because even like if you just took every card from there and added it into the deck, it's not going to be a real cohesive deck.
Yeah, because it's not saying this is the deck. It's just showing you all the top cards that are used with that commander or card.
Different things going
like
on.
Styles. Yeah.
And so, you know, some of them are very like obviously going to go in there. And if you don't have that card knowledge, that it's really, really helpful. I think it's a great library to get cards from. You know, like clicking through Card Kingdom back in the day would have been so much easier if EDHREC was just a thing, right? Like there's just so many cards to choose from and that they're giving you. I love the site. You know, I don't use it a whole ton. I am more of a Scryfall person. But that's just how, you know, that's just kind of how it is.
Yeah.
I think it's a really, really good resource.
Yep.
But it can become a crutch. So like, you know, we're talking about the sites that we use the most, and all of them go into everything that we're doing. And what you were saying is like you check out every one of these sites like every week almost, right? A week or two.
Yep.
And I'm kind of there too. Like I'm not consuming the content, but I'm still looking through cards and
these are all my tools of what I do on a weekly basis.
Absolutely.
EDHREC at this time, I haven't built a deck for a couple months now. I want to build a deck. But like I said, EDHREC comes in at the end for that. But EDHREC for me is the speccing part at this point. Stocks and Goldfish are doing the same thing for me, looking up trends. That's also where I see when the card spiked last, where is that? If it's spiking now, you know, Card Kingdom. And I don't use Scryfall the way you do, which I might use a little bit more, but I know Card Kingdom's format of how they do it, so I stick with that when I'm looking up stuff. Scryfall is my proxy stuff. That's how I make the proxies using those cards. And then lastly, TCG is where I buy all my cards. So that's the last one we want to talk about. Is it on me to do that? I think it's on you.
I don't know.
Me, you, me, you, me.
I did stocks.
Yes.
So
Why don't you go to TCG?
Okay. So TCG is generally the cheapest because you have the most competition there. You have the multiple sellers on one site right there. It shows similar cards that from what you're buying. It's an easy way to sell if you're doing that. I don't have an account there. You don't either because you're on eBay, right? Yeah,
you're right.
Great system for lost cards, money back. Like they're really good at like if you're contacting them like, hey, you forgot this or it hasn't shown up. The sellers are very prompt. You get your money back. It's fairly secure. I've never had like any issues.
It's all about the buyers for TCG. So if the seller stops responding, which I have had that once before, where it's like the card didn't show up, seller didn't respond, TCG jumps in and automatically gives you the refund and charges them.
No, they do a really good job there.
And then recently what I noticed is they are doing, like you can see the recent sales. So I didn't realize that until the last couple of weeks, but on the side, you can see of that card, you can see when it sold, what date, if it's a foil one, a regular one, and you can kind of go through. So it's kind of giving you a little bit better tracking for how things are moving. It's where I buy 90. Okay. I'd say 90% because like I said earlier, Cardkingdom is where I'll do buy list stuff. I will buy some things on eBay if it's cheaper than TCG, but typically TCG is cheaper than eBay. And that's the other one that we're not really going to get into, but eBay is another place to go buy cards.
Yeah.
They're normally about the same level. They're normally cheaper than Cardkingdom, but it depends. If a card's being bought out, eBay will be the last resort where you'll be able to buy those cards. So that's like, oh shit, it's sold out on TCG. What about oh yep, Cardkingdom's already gone. All right, eBay. Oh, there's still a couple copies there. So that's where I'll buy stuff. And then I guess I haven't done this, but Amazon. I'll only buy boxes from there. Like if I'm buying stuff from that.
I think generally I buy from eBay for sealed products.
Yep. Yeah, same here. Yeah. I don't really.
So like for TCG, like how I use it is I do purchase more money on it, but maybe the same amount of cards generally as Cardkingdom. But like it's generally not worth it to buy like a 25 to 50 cent card on TCG unless you're able to package it with other cards. And so
cart fillers.
Yeah. So generally what I just do is just tick those cards off and go, I'm going to buy that on Cardkingdom because then they kind of build up and I buy like, you know, $30 to $40 worth of 25-cent cards and get, you know, 100 to 200 cards somewhere, you know, just coming in. They're really, you know, Cardkingdom's really good with their shipping.
Once you get over a certain amount, right?
Yeah. Or
$35, I think.
But if you have a ton of cards, they're really good too. You know.
Yeah, they're one of the best packaging because that's where I get all my little plastic casing. They always do the plastic casing with the little popcorn foam thing in there.
They just, the last package I got, it was in like a cardboard box, which is essentially the same thing and did really well. But like TCG does really well for like, essentially if I'm buying like $1 or more, then I look for where like, can I buy it in multiples just to get the shipping at a cheaper price and stuff like that. And so I work with them together because oftentimes the more expensive cards just aren't going to be on Cardkingdom. They're going to be on TCG.
Yeah. Well, cheaper, you're saying? Like,
yeah, they'll be cheaper on TCG. Even the cheaper cards are cheaper on TCG, but it's just so hard to package them together.
Right. If you can't find them in a big deal, then it's a little tougher.
And so, like, to save myself time, I just cut those 50 cents and under, unless I want a lot of them. I just cut those and just look at Cardkingdom and add those in, and it saves me a ton of time just trying to fill the cart.
Yep.
So that's a little bit, but yeah, TCG, they're really good customer service. They're generally really quick with their shipping. I just haven't had any issues.
Yep. Nope. It's that's the way I buy all my stuff pretty much. Okay. So one other thing I wanted to mention, there are apps out there and I've mentioned before, but Dragon Shield was pretty good for that one. I just more of like scanning in stuff. You can do trades. I haven't done any of that yet, but I've been able to scan in my whole collection. You can do alerts, kind of what we talked about with Goldfish. So if a card hits a certain price, it also gives you connections to where to buy. But I'm sure there's a ton of other apps out there. People probably have different ones. If you do have other ones, I'd like to hear about them because that'd be nice to see what else is out there. I've just had really good luck with Dragon Shield. So if you have any, maybe if you're watching this on YouTube, put it in the comments or maybe just shoot us a message on Twitter. But now let's get into kind of the summary of all this. So what is each one of these best at? So Larry, why don't you start us off? Since I started the other way, why don't you start us off with the first one that we talked about?
So Cardkingdom is going to be best at buy listing cards and tied at the advanced search.
So, and it's tied with, well, is there anything else that you would add into the Card Kingdom? I think that's pretty much what I would use.
No,
I mean,
that's
those are probably the best.
right there. Yeah.
Best two. So it's tied with actually Scryfall, as we talked about, as for advanced searching, but Scryfall best at seeing basically all the versions of the cards and the rulings of cards. It now has taken over for me because I was using Gatherer as another site you can use, but up until today, I was like, well, you can just do that on Scryfall. Shit. Okay. Cut that out of there. So that's one less site I have to go to.
So Gatherer was a Wizards run website, and it still is, but they run the rulings, they run the new cards. And Scryfall just pulls from that, but just has so much more information.
Right.
And so like without Gatherer, Scryfall isn't doing anything, isn't nearly as good of a product, but it kind of like pariahs off of it and does a really good job with it.
Yep. All right. The next one, Larry.
Is going to be Goldfish, MTG Goldfish. It probably is the best at spoilers and the content, and it is tied at card tracking graphs, highs, lows,
And decks
stuff
used.
like
Decks used with that as well.
that. Yeah, deck used.
But MTG Stocks is the next one, and those are so these two are the very competing sites, or very similar sites. But it's also best at showing trends and movers, the movers and shakers thing. We feel like is a little bit better than what Goldfish does. Goldfish has a little one. You can go into the details of their stuff, but
It's just more clicks.
yeah, it is more clicks. MTG Stocks is so much better at being able to see that big graph and see what's going on, and to be able to tell. It is important to me about the reserve list stuff, seeing why this card is spiking and all that. But it's also tied with tracking the graphs. These two sites do a very good job of seeing when this card is spiked in the past, seeing the past and where the trends are going now, and also being able to see what decks certain cards are used in.
With EDHREC, it's best at the net decking aspect and tracking popularity of cards. And I think they're pulling from a big swath of deck building sites, and so
except for the one that we use.
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe that's like the next website idea. Like maybe we dabble around with like Moxfield and Archidect. I mean, we've never been on any of them, and I'm scared and afraid. But tapped.net is what we use, and it's definitely not the best one, but it's just what we started out with.
What we started with, and then we have all our decks on there. So it's
going.
like, yeah, right. So any deck we make does not make it on EDHREC. So,
sorry.
And then obviously TCG is best at buying and selling cards. And then the new little feature of seeing what recently sold just helps you with the selling, deciding when to sell your cards or what card trends are doing and all that. It's just by far, and I sell on eBay. I sell on eBay because one, I have a lot of ratings on there, but two, I can sell at a higher price because it is a little bit higher than TCG. My stuff still sells. But I just, the thing is, I've always thought about doing the TCG and I almost wanted you to be the test person on that because
Thanks.
It's probably quicker because you don't have to take pictures of it. Like that's my thing for eBay that I feel like it stands out is I take actual pictures of the cards and not stock photos like the bigger companies do. And so sometimes my cards will be bought at a higher price because they're seeing what they're getting. Where I think that's the only downfall of TCG. There are people that still do take pictures, but it's like what? Like the really expensive ones. Yeah, it's the really expensive ones. And even those is maybe 1 out of 10 that does that. Yeah. So, but yeah, so this is a great, if you don't have to use all of these, but they're a great way to add things for different things. Like for me, for speccing, I'll go through TCG, EDHREC, Goldfish, and Stocks. Those are my main guys that I hit up. For building, like each one fits in a different thing that I'm doing. Building decks, I'll go back to Cardkingdom more. At this point, I just haven't built a deck in a while. I keep saying I'm going to, and I just haven't had the time to do it because of freaking summer. This will be the first weekend I'm in town since June.
I would take a nap. or
You look like
build
you're
a
in a
deck.
Yeah.
Switcheroo.
MTG switcheroo. All right. Well, that should do it for this week. We will catch you guys next week.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
Take up.
I love boobs. I'm talking tatas. I love hello boobies. Some bunkers for honkers. I love boobs. Thanks for the memories. I love boobs.
Lowry. Well, went the wrong way. Oh, shoot.
Hold on. You're fine. All right. I'm going to make you jealous here. I'm going to do the Salty 64 noise or voice that you had.
Welcome to the Salty 64.
Why were you doing this during the cast?
I don't know.
We should have done that all the time. Do some more. Let me hear some more.
So this is the
Female voice and is very sexy.
this
We're gonna go with a baby.
Sorry. Oh, that was good.
I drank some beer before that. That was ridiculous. I almost spit it all over the place. Okay. Is there any others?
Nah, that was a good.
Why didn't you do this during the cast? That would have been amazing. Oh man.
We'll get there. I'm still recording. I'm putting this at the end.
Oh, I haven't stopped recording. I'm going to put this in. That's fantastic. I wish I had voice things like that.
Okay, I guess there's okay, so
Like I said, female.
Then there's the male.
for some reason
The robot is super low.
so I
Don't know. This one says baby, but it sounds like I ate a balloon.
My stomach hurts. Oh, God damn it. I'm going to hiccup now. Oh, fuck. Why wasn't this? I'm going to cut it.
that's all right.
And then I'm going to move it.
non-snipped.
I'm going to move it in the middle of the cast.
No, this is the opener.
Oh,
One
balls.
of these is the opener, right?
I got hiccups now. Oh, fuck. The baby one is ridiculous. Hit that one again.
It's like a self-feeding loop. I'm just laughing.
Oh my God. Oh, it hurts so bad. Oh.
Why is it so high-pitched?
Oh, I haven't laughed this hard. I can't even remember. Oh, God damn it. I'm crying so much right now. Oh. Oh.
That's good stuff.
Even just hearing you just laughing, that was, it sounds like, oh man. Oh, I'm so glad I did not stop recording.